Hey, what's up guys? I'm BTC. When you think about cheating in Overwatch, the first thing that comes to mind is probably an aimbot or maybe even a wall hack. But there's something a lot worse that can target you, knock out your internet, and result in your account getting suspended or banned. There have been some cheat programs used for a little while now that work a little bit differently than the other cheat programs. Normally, a cheat program would do something to your client. For example, it could make your crosshair automatically lock onto the enemy targets, or maybe it's more of a soft aim assist, or maybe it just lets you see through the walls. Instead, these other programs target the server and the other players. It effectively executes a denial of service attack that will disconnect the other players or, at a minimum, make them lag so badly that they simply cannot move or function in any meaningful way. Usually, the cheater will play as Torbjorn and just set up a turret somewhere near the capture point or the payload. Then he turns on the cheat program, and while none of the other players are able to move, the server is still registering the turret as if it's active, and it will continue to shoot enemies that it can see. Oftentimes, this means that enemy players have been dead for 30 seconds or more before they even realize it. Another problem much more severe than simply losing a match is if the cheat program manages to fully disconnect a player from the game. You can actually receive a lever penalty with a suspension or a possible ban from competitive play because of this. Granted, in order to actually receive a ban, you must have left other games previously, but if you're one of those players who might have had a run of bad luck in getting disconnected, it definitely adds up, and something like this could be the final nail in the coffin. Recently, players have been complaining to Blizzard about this exploit and raising concerns about if the person using the cheat is able to actually access the IP address of other players. This is even worse than simply losing a match or getting suspended from the game. One of the Blizzard devs, lead software engineer Bill Wernicke, responded to this with some good and bad news. He said, "Overwatch does not reveal your IP address to other players in any circumstances. All data from you goes directly to the server, and then our servers are responsible for updating the other players. This includes voice chat." I believe there was some confusion about this topic due to the way that consoles, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, may work. Being in a console party will reveal your IP address to other players. Microsoft has posted an FAQ here with more information. We take abuse of the service very seriously and will continue to put a great deal of effort into handling any incidents of abuse. If you have any additional information which can help us investigate an incident, please use the report player function or send an email directly to hacks@blizzard.com. Thanks. So that's some pretty good information. If you're on a PC, even if you're in a group or using voice communications, you're still going to be secure. Unfortunately, if you're on a console and you're in a group or using voice communications, because of the way that Microsoft and Sony handle it, a potential cheater using one of those programs could in fact get your IP and then knock you offline. Now, I'm not entirely certain on the specifics, if it's simply being in the team voice chat or if it has to be a group voice chat. That info is unclear. Although logically it doesn't make much sense for someone who is on your team to try to knock you out of the game. It's almost always going to be someone on the enemy team who's trying to sneakily get you into a group to obtain your IP and then knock you off that way. Now, in the event any of this does happen to you, power off your internet router and leave it down for 5 to 10 minutes so that when you turn it back on, your ISP should give you a new IP address. If they don't and problems persist, just contact your internet provider. Now, Microsoft and Sony seem to be washing their hands of the whole situation. With Battle.net from Blizzard, voice communication goes from client to server to client, so there's never a direct connection to other players. On Xbox Live, voice communication is handled from client to client. On the Xbox Live website, you can see pretty clearly that they don't give a damn, and they're simply passing the burden down to you. This was taken directly from the Xbox Live website. In a denial-of-service attack, the attacker floods the IP address of the targeted device, such as an Xbox console or a computer, with external, useless communication requests, thereby leaving the device unable to connect to the internet and Xbox Live. Emphasis added, the attack is not directed at Xbox Live. It's directed at the IP address of the targeted device. Now, they're not wrong, they are telling the truth. The attack isn't directed at them, but that's because of the terrible system that they designed. Further down on that page, I found this little gem. What can Xbox Live do to prevent these attacks? Answer: the Xbox Live service can't prevent DOS and DDoS attacks because they happen through the IP address of the attack device. They do not happen directly in the Xbox Live service. For more information about preventing DOS and DDoS attacks, contact your ISP. In other words, we don't give a damn, good luck, you're on your own. Again, this problem wouldn't even occur, or at least it would occur significantly less often, if Microsoft and Sony weren't using older, terrible methods of handling voice communications. One of the reasons why Skype, also owned by Microsoft, is being abandoned in droves is because they functioned under the same crappy method that Xbox and Sony are using. Newer communication programs like Discord use client-server-client method just like Battle.net does. It's a lot more secure, people like it, that's why they want it, and they use it, and they're leaving the other stuff. So a couple quick things to take away from all this. 1. Blizzard already knows about the cheat program and is working to find solutions. 2. Microsoft and Sony know about it and pretty much don't care. 3. For console players specifically, if you're in a match and someone who is not on your team asks you to join their group, then you should decline because it's likely someone trying to use this exploit. And number 4, if you do get attacked, power off your router for 5 to 10 minutes to try to get a new IP. And if problems persist, contact your internet provider. As a side note, a lot of these cheat programs come out of South Korea. And recently, the South Korean government has been dropping the hammer on these cheat makers with massive fines and jail time. I made a video with more info about it. I'll put a link on the screen and down below so you can go and check it out. Have any of you guys ever had to deal with this? If so, let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the new videos. And also check out my Discord server where you can find other players and join the community. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button. Remember, always blame the controller because it's never your fault. Also, thanks to all my Patreon supporters for help making this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting, click the link on screen or down below.